नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि व बाद अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू रब्बिश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बना ज़िदना इल्मा आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन। Today, inshallah, we are going to learn about علامات الأصلية والفرعية. علامة الإعراب في اللغة العربية تنقسم إلى نوعين: علامات أصلية وعلامات فرعية. So, in the language of Arabic, there are two types of علامات of إعراب: أصلية and فرعية. Let's learn what are they. What are the alamat for alamat asliya and alamat fariya? Let's talk about alamat asliya first. We know that there are four types of status according to the afal and asma. In relation to afal and asma, there are four types of, of the status that we see. First is rafa, the nasab, jar, and jazm. And we know that all these rafa, nasab, jar, and jazm, we can see these states of rafa, nasab, jar, and jazm in the afal and asma. So normally we always see that the rafa is always with the dhamma. We all know that. That is marfu state, and it will always carry a dhamma on the last letter. For the nasab state, we know that normally it is always carrying a fatha on the last letter. Similarly, for the jar state, we always know that it will carry a kasra on the last letter. And for jazm, it's always a sukoon. So these are the four states that are normally used: Dhamma, Fatha, Kasra, and Sukoon for Rafa, Nasab, Jar, and Jazm, respectively. So these are all the Alamat Asliya, or we can say these are the real signs of Rafa, Nasab, Jar, and Jazm. The real sign to recognize a Marfu state is a Dhamma. In this way, the real sign for Mansoob state is always a Fatha. And to recognize a Jar, the real sign or Alamat Asli for a Jar state is, or you can say the Majroor state is a Kasra. And just like that, the Majzoom state will always carry a Sukoon. Dhamma, Fatha, Kasra, and Sukoon, these are all the signs, the asli signs, or we can say the real signs for Rafa, Nasab, Jar, and Jazm states. So here we will write for the Arab that whenever a state is carrying a Dhamma or a word is carrying a Dhamma, we will say that Alamat Rafihi, a Dhamma. For Fatha, Alamat Nasibihi, al Fatha. For kasra, we will write alamati jarrihi al kasra, and for sukoon, we will write like alamati jasmihi as sukoon. Let's look at this example. Lam yaktub at-tilmizu darsa alal kurrasi. The student did not write the lesson on the notebook. Let's look at the i'rab now. Lam, we know that it is harf of jazm, wanafi, adat jazm, we can say wanafi, it negates the sentence. Yaktub, what about yaktub? It is faile mudari majzoom, bilam wa alamati jazbihi as-sukoon. Now look at this. Yaktub. We can notice here that the last letter, as we know that we learn that all the letters or the words that carry the last, we will see the last Arab that what it has, and according to that we are going to write the Arab. So yaktub is a faile mudari. We know that kataba yaktubu. So yaktubu, this uh, Dhamma was dropped and it was converted into a sukoon because of this lam, because this is another jazm and it converts the faile mudari into from marfu state to the majzoom state. So faile mudari majzoom, and why it is majzoom? First we are going to write that what state is faile mudari is. Faili mudari majzoom because it is having a jazm, it is having a sukoon, so the term used is majzoom. And what is the reason? Bilam with lam. Bilam wa alamati, and the sign just bihi, the sign of jazm is a sukoon. This is alamat asliya. We know that these are we are learning about alamat asliya, and we know that always majzoom will have a sukoon on the last letter. So yaktub, that was in the real, it was yaktubu, which was converted into the sukoon state, the majzoom state because of this lam. The Arab will be like فعل مضارع مجزوم بلم وعلامة جزمه السكون. Let's look at the next letter. Tilmizu. Tilmizu, we can see the last letter is having a dhamma. And we know that we learned that dhamma is the real sign or alamati asliya for rafa or marfu state. How we are going to write the i'rab for this? We know that this is an isim. This al is showing that this is an isim. This is the file here. And one more thing, we know that when there is a hua version of the fail, we can look for an outside doer. So here, this is our ism zahir, this is our outside doer or our file here. Because this hua damir musarri taqdiru hua was cancelled out because of this outside doer. So tilmizu is our file marfu. And what is the alama for for being it a marfu? Wa alama raf'ihi ad-damma. The alama for being in the state of rafa is damma. Az-zahira, zahira means the clear sign, the visible sign, ala akhira, in the end. So tilmizu file marfu wa alamati rafihi ad-damma az-zahira ala akhirihi. This is the alamat asliya for marfu. This damma is the real sign for a marfu state. Let's look at the next letter, ad-darsa. Ad-darsa, we know that every word that is the detail of the sentence is maful bihi, and it will always be in the state of nasab or it will be mansoob. And what is the sign for mansoob? The sign for mansoob is the fatha on the last letter. So we can see here, we can write the i'rab like this. Ad-darsa, it is maful bihi because it is the detail, because we know that after fa'il and file there is always the detail or the maful of the sentence of jumla fi'liya. So we can see here, this is fa'il, this is file, the outside doer, and ad-darsa is our maful bihi mansoob because it is a detail. Mansoob wa alama, you can say wa alamati nasbihi, and the alama or the sign for the nasab is al fatha al zahira. A fatha that is zahir, that is clear. Ala akhirihi, in the end or at the end of the word. مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نسبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. This is the i'rab for ad-darsa. Let's look at the next word, ala. Ala is a harf of jar. We know, we have learned about a huruf of jar, and ala is one of them. So we know that what harf of jar does, that harf of jar always makes the next letter a majroor. That means it will carry a kasra on the last letter. So a kuras, we in the notebook, meaning the notebook, a kurasi will have a kasra on the last letter, and that is shown here. So how we are going to write the i'rab for this? The i'rab asliya, because we know that a majroor state always takes a kasra on the last letter. A kurasi will be written as isim majroor because we know that it is isim. How and this al is showing, this is one of the signs for the isim that it can carry al. So isim majroor because it is in the state of jar, we will call it majroor. Isim majroor wa alamati jarrihi al kasra al zahira ala akhirihi, and the alama for the jar state is the kasra zahira, the clear kasra in the end of the word. So here, this we learned about the alama or alamat asliya, that lam yaktub tilmizu darsa al kurrasi. It shows the sukun, the dhamma, the fatha, and the kasra states, the real signs of rafa, nasab, jar, and jazm states. So Alhamdulillah, today we learned about what are the real signs for these four states: the Rafada subjar and the Jazm state, the Marfu state, the Mansub state, Majroor, and Majzoom. These four states have the real signs of Sukoon, Dhamma, Kasra, and Fatha. So, in the next lesson, inshallah, we will learn about the Alamat Far'iyya, then what are the not real or the unreal, or we can say those signs which are not Dhamma, Fatha, Kasra, and the Jazm sign or the Sukoon, how we are going to apply them on a Rafa state, Nasab, Jar, and Jazm. Then how now these Alamat Fariya will tell us that this sign is Rafa, Nasab, Jar, or Jazm. So inshallah we will continue our lesson for Alamat Asliya and Fariya in the next session. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.